This episode is sponsored by ATB. Mom, what does ATB stand for?
Alberta Treasury Branch. Next question.
Okay. Do you know the name of their campaign?
Built to help Albertans. Next question.
That's right. And speaking of questions, they're there to answer your questions that are commonly asked by Albertans in these tough times. Karen, what's a commonly asked question that you never get an answer to?
Why doesn't Neil Diamond love me?
Perfect. ATB, you better get on it. In 1938, They were opened. They provide supports for Albertans during these hard times. Like when Karen asks you a question, you have to let her down easy. But ATB is still there to support Albertans through the bad and the good.
Everyone thinks Neil Diamond's old. ATB is older than Neil Diamond.
That's right. We're dropping actual facts here. But they're also here to help Albertans because it's a downturn. People are slowly recovering and it's not quite over. But they're built to help Albertans. So they're going to rebuild and we're going to find a new normal. And ATB is going to give you a call and tell you about Neil Diamond.
You should get an account there.
I have one. I have a debit.
I've raised you well. Good for me.
Yeah.
Tell me your dreams over bacon and eggs. We'll share a laugh and a story and even a wish on the breakfast dish. Bop, 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 bop.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 71 or 2 or 3 or possibly 4 of The Breakfast Dish. This podcast...
Why do we have the conversation at the start about which...
Because we recorded out of order that we plan on publishing. That's why.
You're really shining a light on our podcast administration failures, and I won't have myself poisoned in this way.
No. We are excellent podcast administrators. It's just that we have an opportunity to talk to some people at particular times, and we have to squeeze them in order to fully highlight the times in which they're doing things. Because why, Griffin, my son, my first and only born, why do we want to talk about arts? Tell us about our podcast.
Damn it! I don't care anymore. I need you to tell me what you think of AI. What kind of robots should be sentient and what shouldn't be? We've always been talking about theater and plays and art and film and festival directors and actors. And I won't have it anymore.
Oh.
Tell me what AI you think is important. What kind of robots should have feelings and make decisions on their own?
The animals, the ones that are dogs. The robot dogs. They should have feelings. And also, I want AI. Do you remember, are you too young to remember Wallace and Gromit?
I remember Wallace and Gromit. And here we go. 1 second. No, I'll remind you. Here we go. Cheese, Gromit. So, hey, guys, it's Griffin from The Breakfast Dish. You couldn't see it, but I did the weird finger thing that they do. Go ahead, Karen.
Anyway, Wallace is an inventor in the Wallace and Gromit cartoons, and he has invented...
Wait, I thought the dog was the inventor.
No, he's just the smart one.
I thought Wallace was just an old guy with a smart dog.
No, I don't think the dog built this robot. I think Wallace built this robot because it didn't work very well, and it wasn't really a robot, but it was this robotic system that would
Every time the dog pulls the chutes and the lever goes, the human freaks out. He's like, ah! If he built it, he would have it. He would know what's happening. The dog is for sure the one that built stuff.
But it doesn't always work. So that's why I think Wallace built it. Because the robot rings his alarm and then bonks him on the head to wake him up and then pulls off his blankets and then makes him sit up and then drops him in some pants and then throws him down a slide to the kitchen and then throws coffee in his face, and it never works well, which makes me think a human invented
This is not a joke. This is a real mother and son. Sometimes we do our fun little mom and son bits on our mom and son podcast, and I won't have it anymore. I bet you $20 real Canadian dollars, that the dog is the one that makes the inventions.
You're on. 20 real Canadian dollars. You are
and
on.
And if you're right, I'll pay you on Mother's Day.
Okay. Thanks, boy. Very rarely does he recognize me as his mother. He often calls me Karen.
Very rarely does he recognize Mother's Day. In fact, this $20 day is the first time.
Speaking of calling people by their first name, which you normally do for me, Griffin. Oh, did we mention who we are? I'm Karen Johnson Diamond. I am the mother of Griffin Cork. He is my son. We have this podcast.
And I'm going to be $20 richer in about 45 minutes when I have time to Google stuff.
And you probably owe it back to me anyway. He calls me Karen instead of Mom. So it reminds me that one of our guests today on the show is often called by her last name because she is a teacher in a high school setting, and there's respect to be had. You know, you don't walk around going, hey, John, hey, Bob. You call people by their last names. Our other guest is a student of hers that probably has only ever called her by her last name, but now might get to say her first name. It'll feel so weird. I remember that as a high school student when I got to call my drama teacher Irene. It was so weird.
I had a meeting the other day about maybe teaching my old high school, and calling my old drama teacher Michelle was like,
I know. I know. So let's meet our guests. The teacher in question is Ms. Arlene Orchard, who is a longtime friend and educator at Foundations for the Future Charter Academy, my favorite high school in Calgary.
Woohoo!
As well as Dai Matsuzaka, who is a student of Arlene's, a student of art, a student of drama, a student of life, and
wow,
a student I want in every single class I ever teach for the rest of my life.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Student of life is maybe one of the best intros Karen's give anybody on this podcast.
That was wonderful.
No,
That's really beautiful.
He is a student of life.
He totally is. There's nothing he doesn't want to try.
Oh, yes,
There's nothing he doesn't
absolutely.
want to experience. Am I right about that, Ms. Orchard?
Yes, he is an A+++ repeating student.
A plus, 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 plus. What movie's that from? Movie quiz. The teacher's writing on the board. A plus, plus, plus. It's from the Christmas Story.
Yeah, I won't be trusting your cinematic knowledge from here on. You've goofed Wallace and Gromit. You could be like, oh, Kindergarten Cop. Oh, it's from Finding Dory. Yeah, because we can say whatever now, Karen, right?
It's from Matilda.
I'm thrilled to have you both here. Here's why. Because I have had the opportunity to teach the improv unit for the last 9 years at Arlene's school at FFCA, and now at both campuses, North and South, which is wonderful. And Dai has been a student of mine for 2 years now, one live and one online.
I think so, yes.
I think.
No, wait, I think it's 4 because grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. 4 years.
All 4 years. So it's been long then, since I was 15.
You must not have made an impression of me in the first 2 years.
Okay. Good Lord.
He must have been sick that day because Dai always makes an impression.
But I think you also came into the class also as a TA, as a teacher's assistant, did you not?
Yes, I have. Yeah. A number of times. Yeah.
So you are a drama student of Arlene Orchards. And what I want to talk about specifically today, the Zone One Act Festival that you just had at your school, and the provincials that are coming up on May 14th in Red Deer, if I'm right about that.
May 12th to the 14th.
May 12th to the 14th. Thank you very much. So first of all, let's talk about Dai. Let's talk about Dai, baby.
I knew
Let's
it.
talk about Dai. No. Dai, I saw your one-act show at your Zones last week, and my mind was pretty much blowing out of my ears. So can you tell us about the show, what it was about, the title, and then all of the 19 positions you held in the producing of that play?
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, it was it was a musical called The Colors in the Storm by Jim Betts, and I had the honor to direct it, to lead it. I had to choreograph the show as well, design it, and work of lighting, audio, whatnot, and set as well. It was a big project, and I loved how much responsibilities I was able to take on. It was like I had a lot of creative freedom as well with the support of Miss Orchard, or I guess in this podcast, Arlene, which is
It's weird.
Anarchy!
So yeah, no, it's been great. It's awesome. It's been awesome, and I've had a great cast as well. But it was originally a 2-act musical, and we were cutting it into a 1-act musical and producing it this year. It's like 68 minutes, I think, the runtime. So
67.
67. So there you go. It was a lot, but it was great.
It was stunning. How many were in the cast?
There was 11 people, including myself, and then a lot more in the tech and all the supporting side. It was actually my first time doing an ensemble, like 1-act.
It was your first time?
Yeah, because I usually do 2-handers or something of a smaller cast. So my introduction to an ensemble cast and directing it was a musical. So, heading into it was a big mystery really on like how to do this. There was a lot of figuring things out on the go and on the run, but yeah, it was great. It was fun. A lot of work, but
You succeeded with flying colors. And when you say you had the chance to lead it, I would like to clarify and say that you did a whole Ewan McGregor thing where you directed it and you played the lead role. Isn't I right? Is it Ewan McGregor? No, who's the other guy that always does that in Britain?
Oh, yeah, Tom Holland.
Kenneth Branagh.
Or whoever, right?
Yeah, you're Kenneth
Or
Branagh.
whoever.
There's a lot of different names.
Kenneth Branagh. You're the Kenneth Branagh of FFCA.
oh,
Your eye for design was fantastic. The lights were so gorgeous. I wish if there's photos of the set and lights, I would love if we could somehow have those and Griffin can put them up on podcast page or something.
Well,
But
and interestingly enough, the lighting was done by Dai's brother, Gen. And Gen and Dai worked together to design it. And Gen was our lighting designer / operator.
your family is highly talented.
Oh, yeah. And then Mai also played Wild Winnie in the musical, and that's their sister. So it was a family affair.
yeah,
It was. No, go on.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I just meant to say it was a great opportunity because us three actually got to be together and work together and kind of build off of each other. Again, would give me feedback. Mine would give me feedback. I would give them feedback. There's a lot of just artistic going back and forth between the family as well, inside and out. So it was really an interesting opportunity where we just kind of fed off and built off of each other. Yeah.
See, people say to Griffin and I, you know, like sometimes we'll get hired to do the same workshop or something, and people go, "Is that weird? You know, working with your son?" And I'm like, I love a chance to work with my family. I love it. So it's great to hear you say the same thing, because who do you trust the most, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We'll get in the room and like we'll be kind of around the rehearsal table. We'll get our scripts out. We'll start doing the work, and then someone will turn to me and go, "Was the dog the inventor, or was it Wallace?" And I kind of have to sit there with my mom in the room and just weep to myself, frankly, because I've been raised in this poisonous household. I'm doing so many bits about this that I very well could be wrong, but I think that I'm not.
Doesn't matter. You're funny. So when I saw your one act, I saw it alongside one other show and a beautiful performance by the choir that you are also in. Mm-hmm. Holy cow. And then there was 2 other shows that were presented by the North Campus and the South Campus, right?
6 in total. There was 4 from South High School and 2 from North.
Okay. And the other one I saw, Griffin, from North was DNA.
Woo! Dennis Kelly, baby!
Yes.
Which Griffin was in once and produced once.
Correct. I was in it once and helped produce once. That was the rest of the Hoodlum boys that did it, but yeah.
Oh, it's such a great script.
Directed by Chris Stockton. That's our new amazing drama teacher over at North. So it's been amazing.
Who has also directed both Griffin and I in professional shows at Stage West or Lunchbox
how awesome.
or etc.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah. Now, Arlene, sorry, Griffin, did you want to say anything?
If you give me any more airtime on this show, it will be about Wallace and Gromit. So you need to keep going.
No, Wensleydale. Arlene, you not only have taken your theater students for 14 years to the One Act Festival, and what I love about it is that you all go. Everyone
Yes.
that did a One Act goes, and you get to be a part of it. Maybe not all the shows perform, but all of your students go. And you've also been on the committee for the high school. Wait a minute, just a minute. It's the, don't tell me,
Alberta. Oh, don't tell you.
High School Drama Festival Association for 14 years. So tell me what that's like.
This has been such a great journey. So the Alberta High School Drama Festival Association puts together a provincial one-act festival for all of Alberta, and it's always at Red Deer Polytechnic. It used to be Red Deer College, and they have such an amazing facility there. So we have workshoppers, professional workshoppers from around Alberta come in, and the kids get workshops Friday morning and Saturday morning. And they have play sessions Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, Friday afternoon, Friday night, Saturday afternoon. It is a fun-filled weekend of theater, and they get to find each other and build community and make new lasting friendships. And there's 20, usually about 19 or 20 different plays produced from across the province. So you get to see, you know, what everybody else is producing, and you get to learn and steal new cool ideas. And it's been such good learning. It's been the pivotal learning environment for my students at FFCA, going to the to the Red Deer trip every year. So it's been sad we haven't had it for the last 2 years. So we are really raring to go next Thursday. We are so excited. And we're taking 100 kids. Yeah. We're taking 100 students with us.
The logistics of that make my mind hurt on your behalf.
You know what? I have this I love figuring out puzzles. So I really like to organize things as well as be creative. So it really is fun in a way. So yeah, we've got 100 kids. We have 10 supervisors. So, 10 to 1 odds. It's pretty, they're not going to take over. It's going to be great.
That's right.
We hope.
Unless they learn how to use tools, in which case they will be scary.
Well, you know what? Funny. In 2016, we brought 83 kids, and I was like, "Woo, this is too many. Maybe this is a lot to manage." Now we're bringing 100. So, but we have great kids.
But your kids are always spectacular.
They are.
That's the thing. I teach in so many high schools, and I am always blown away by the respect and intelligence and calm coolness of your students.
Well, Foundations for the Future is all about leadership and character. That's our mandate. Like, that's what our charter is all about. And so it's great because the kids really have amazing character. They really do. So we're really lucky. It's always a really fun trip. So we're looking forward to it.
That idea of leadership and fun, and that it being this great weekend where they can all connect with each other and make lifelong friends, and it happens at Red Deer Polytechnic, which used to be Red Deer College, sounds a lot like Arts Trek, which I administrate. And one day I will have Ms. Orchard teaching at Arts Trek. This summer, though, however, I'm forcing Dai to come to Arts Trek. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but
use a gun.
I'll just pay for you to come.
Use a gun. Oh, boy.
I'll use a piece of cheese.
Oh, Dai would love it.
You would,
Dai
Dai.
would be amazing.
And seriously, I want you to come be a student so that then I can hire you to be a supervisor because of your leadership skills. Like, seriously.
Yes.
Wow.
I'll just take a little side note here and go that Theatre Alberta produces Arts Trek. Theatre Alberta's drama school for teens, summer drama school for teens, is a week-long camp in July at Red Deer Polytechnic. They have you can apply for a lot of scholarship help through Theatre Alberta.
That's amazing.
So that's, either way, I'm going to make Dai come. He's going to
It's an honor.
chain his ankles, drag him down to river. I'll use a pool noodle and I'll just whack him on the back of the head. Great. Here's a fun fact, Dai. When Red Deer College used to have their theater arts program, I was the very first ever graduate from that program at Red Deer College. So as you're looking at the main stage on this weekend, just imagine I'm up there and it's 1987 and I'm in Midsummer Night's Dream. I spent so much time on that stage. And that's where Arts Trek happens.
Oh, wow. Just history.
I'm so old.
I have a question for Dai about your process in this show, Dai, because it's a question that I always have for somebody who is directing something that they are also in. Did you have like an assistant director to work with you for your scenes, or did you just like trust the rest of your ensemble to be like, that was pretty good, or like, well, maybe walk here instead? You know what I mean?
No, sure. Yeah, I can answer that. Well, the great thing about this show is that Tom Thompson's, the lead, is in almost every scene. And so directing this show has been like, okay, I just gotta not do Tom Thompson right now. I gotta direct you guys, see where you guys move, and see if this movement actually works on stage. And of course, there's a lot of things to consider when you're directing a musical, and a lot of it was choreo as well. And there's moving silks on stage, and there's a lot happening, and so it's a colossal project. And I really did not get much time to be Tom Thompson for like a good chunk of this. Like what, 5-6 months that we worked to produce this. And so I really think it was like last weekend or the week before that where I finally got to say, hey guys, I'm done directing. I am stepping into character. I am going to be Tom Thompson now, which surprised the cast actually. I went more in depth and a little insane playing an artist like that. So the process has been an interesting one of like, get inside, get out, get in, get out, and
Get out, run!
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's been a lot of matrixing, really. So it's been fun. But stage managers, they're of such great help for me. Couldn't do it without them. So yeah,
So true.
For sure.
Damn it!
Griffin, what's the matter?
All this talk about theater, Arlene, Dai. What kind of robot should have AI? What kind of robot should be sentient? You tell me right now. Some robots should just stay full with programming and coding. I would say maybe construction robots. But what one should be sentient and be capable of intense decision making? Arlene, you first.
You know, I have always found koalas could do it all. So to me, it's koala all the way.
Damn it! Dai, I'm placing boundaries on this that you can't do an animal robot. These two have copped out of that question.
Actually, yeah. I mean, well, to be honest with you, I mean, I know this isn't a great idea, but I am a huge fan of Terminator. I love Terminator ever since I was small. And so, like, killer robots with, like, you know, human intelligence.
That's the worst one.
I do understand that.
It's the most exciting.
Yeah, I like the drama, right? Oh, so human and so many emotions and having to, you know, assassinate someone, but have emotions as well. Like, love watching that.
And they also have great Austrian accents.
Yeah, exactly.
The murder one? You want the murder one to be able to make its own decision?
This episode of The Breakfast Dish is brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. Alberta Blue Cross understands that running a small business is tough, and they understand business owners in Alberta are busy. Let Alberta Blue Cross give you peace of mind with a group benefit plan. They offer health, dental, life, and disability coverage for your employees. Alberta Blue Cross group benefit plans are easy to manage anywhere, anytime, and on any device, making it easy for you and your employees to access. To learn more and explore your options, head to ab.bluecross.ca. Okay, back to art for 1 minute. Dai, you're going to theater school, right?
I'm going to U of T, and I'm going to social sciences, so it'll be an interesting journey, but I'm not letting go of theater.
Whatever you do in the world is going to be an excellent, excellent choice. But I do hope that you still get to do some performing. And I'm going to try to hook you up with the improv people that I know in Toronto.
Oh, yes.
You can go guest on some improv shows.
That's a great idea.
That is exciting.
Dai is one of those people that is just is a world changer. So whatever he touches, it will be changed. He's just that kind of human.
Yeah, like the answer to the Wallace and Gromit question. If I'm wrong, I would just like you to change it. So I'm right.
I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm not gonna. Everyone, I am now for the next 3 minutes going to become a listener of The Breakfast Dish because I'm not going to say anything.
Arlene, is the Provincial One Act Festival, the High School Provincial One Act Festival, is it open to the public? And if so, do you pay for tickets? What's the deal? Do you know?
Yes, I do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 show sessions that are welcome to audience. Each show session is $15, and you can just walk into Polytechnic, into the theater, and pay for a seat and come right in. And then you've paid for, usually it's about 4 shows in a show session. So we've got Thursday, May 12th, starts at noon. Thursday, May 12th at 7 p.m. starts the second show session. Friday, May 13th at noon. Friday, May 13th at 7 p.m. And then the last show session is Saturday, May 14th at noon. And anybody's welcome to come in.
If you are looking for tickets or information about the High School Provincial One Act Festival, May 12th to 14th at Red Deer Polytechnic, you can go to ahsdfa.weebly, weebly.com. Weebly is just the name of a play you'll see there. No, I'm lying. It has nothing to do with that. Weebly is who runs their website, but somebody should write a play, Dai, called Weebly.
Love it, yeah. Sentient robots, too, in that one.
Yeah. Sentient robots.
FFCA South is bringing the play called Fortress. It's a really cool little thing. It's got 6 chairs and all the furniture and basically everything is played by the characters. So they become doors and record players and telephones, and it's really fun. And it's about a little kid that loves Superman. So that's going to be happening, directed by a gal in grade 12 named Sierra T.
So how often does that happen, that the students direct as opposed to the teachers direct?
The last time I directed a one act was 2011. So since then, I've had the kids direct every show every year. It's just so good for them. Basically, Dai was like, what about this? I'd like to do this. Yep, do it. What about these silks? Yep, sounds great. And then he was like, can you build us 16 trees? Yes, the tech theater kids can definitely do that.
And you are a musician yourself. Not only do you run the choir, but you are a singer, musician, musical director, etc.
Yes.
And often perform with Chance Devlin, who was on our podcast a number of months ago.
Yes, with Rowdy Pianos. We do dueling pianos together, if you've ever heard of that. It's two piano players facing each other and taking requests and singing, and kind of a comedy show, and singing and dancing and playing music. And it's really challenging. It's the most challenging thing I've ever done, and it's really fun. He's been a great teacher. And we do lots of different gigs around the city with jazz and band stuff. And so it's been, I'm really, really happy that we also have music outside of school. But I have a great choir at school. Dai's a part of that. He's a bass. Sing us a little bass right now, Chance. Maybe Comes the Time. Sing us from the musical.
Yeah, sounds
the
good.
Beginning of Comes the Time.
Starts real nice. Comes the night when the autumn moon lies nested in stars. Yeah.
Yes. I know, he's got this beautiful voice.
A male bass voice is my favorite sound of all time, and I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way.
Damn it! Introduce the dream sequence.
Oh, okay.
And get me pictures of Spider-Man.
In our jingle, written by Alexandra Cowman, she sings, "Tell me your dreams over bacon and eggs." So what we've been asking each of our guests is, if you are a nighttime dreamer who remembers what you dream at nighttime, tell us the weirdest one you've had lately, or the most recent one you've had, or one you remember from childhood that stuck with you forever.
Oh, that is interesting. Dai, you go first.
Yeah. Well, usually when I get busy, I don't remember dreams, but one of the dreams that stuck with me, hey, okay, this is gonna sound real weird, but I tend to have like pretty bad dreams. Where one time I was kidnapped, in the streets, and I was like, "Hey, don't kidnap me, man!" And it was really casual. It was all great, but this guy just put me in a sack and just went off, and I was like, "Hey, that's not real cool. I mean, shouldn't really be kidnapping people, man." And I don't know. I forced myself out of the truck, and I confronted this man, and he just looked at me with these deadly eyes, and I was like, "Dude, not cool. Seriously, like, I don't even know where I am anymore." And I don't know. I woke up, and I was like, "Well, that's one way to wake up, right? Like, one way to start a morning is just like, it's relief. It's gratitude for life. Really, it's like, damn, I'm so happy and grateful that I get to wake up safe in a house."
Wow.
I love the idea that the biggest pet peeve of being kidnapped is your unfamiliarity with your new surroundings. Hey, man, what the heck? I don't even know where I am anymore. What buses are around here?
Just give me a cross street, anything, landmark.
What the heck?
Also, I think it speaks to Dai's leadership skills when, instead of just screaming and freaking out and swearing, he looks at his captor to say, "You know what? This isn't a good choice. Make better choices, dude." Not good.
I don't want to, keep repeating myself, but again, a gun would help in a lot of these situations.
You're so violent.
Well,
I hope your mother didn't let you play with guns when you were a kid.
There was actually a lot of water gun hangouts that I couldn't go to because my mom didn't let me have any kind of gun-shaped thing until I was about 20.
I love that. That's amazing. I love that. You should have showed up with an arsenal of water balloons. That would have been great.
No, too close to grenades. Too close to grenades.
Arlene, what does your dream brain tell you that it remembers or not?
That's really interesting that Dai got kidnapped, because mine is also about being kidnapped. And I'm not a kid, so
I thought you were going to say, that's really interesting because my dream was me kidnapping Dai.
I know, I get kidnapped in a weird building that has no windows or walls. It's all steel. And like, you try to get out and you can't find the way out, and then you're falling a lot. So yeah,
falling a lot.
That's strange, Dai. Why do we both get kidnapped dreams?
I don't know.
Well, let me tell you what it says on the internet.
Karen started interpreting them from the webs.
Oh no, we're getting dream analyzed.
But it says sometimes dreaming of being kidnapped might mean that someone is manipulating you in real life. You feel trapped and worried that you don't have control over certain aspects of your life. Especially if the dream is reoccurring, it signals that you're feeling trapped and are hiding your emotions inside of you.
Feeling like you don't have control over aspects of your life is not the same as someone manipulating you, Machiavelli.
Well, we are, in times where we have to deal with uncertainty.
And sorry, Kira, what does the site say about being in a room of steel and falling down a lot?
There's usually a polar bear as well, and I don't know why. Because there's no snow or anything, but there's definitely a polar. And the polar bear is kind. The polar bear is very kind.
The polar bear turned to me and said, "What the heck, man? I don't even know where I am anymore."
You know what? I'm gonna let our listeners look that one up.
Perfect.
You can find a website that says I'm dreaming about falling down in a steel building with a polar bear. Then the internet's gone too far.
Gosh, Dai, Arlene, thank you very much for joining us on the Breakfast Dish.
Thank you for having us. It has been fun.
Yeah, it's been an honor. Oh, so fun.
If I was ever interrupted on the street and someone tried to put me into a sack,
Yeah, a sack! A burlap sack!
gotta be a very, very large burlap sack.
What would you say to them?
Well, what I say is I would tell them that the Breakfast Dish is part of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown, community supported. The intro music you just heard and the outro music you're about to hear has been composed by Alexander Kalman. All graphic design for the Breakfast Dish has been done by Morgan Ermter. Karen, what's coming up?
Coming up in Calgary, presented at Fire Exit Theatre, is a play called Mary Jane, June 8th to 12th. Here's a little blurb. During a rain-drenched summer in New York, a determined single mother navigates the mundane, shattering, and sublime aspects of caring for a chronically sick child. So that's what's happening. Go see Fire Exit Theatre in Calgary.
Arlene and Dai, how we like to usually wrap up the Breakfast Dish is that Karen has asked you many questions, but there are some that she has planned and some that she hasn't, and this one is absolutely unplanned. We haven't talked about it beforehand. Karen, 3, 2, 1.
It's a breakfast-themed question. Arlene, if you had to write a song about breakfast, what would the title of that song be?
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And Dai, if you had a breakfast plate in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, what does a breakfast plate look like?
I mean, a dish of breakfast in front of you is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Which of the food items would become sentient AI robot?
Oh, that's good.
Did you say a dish of breakfast? And our podcast is called The Breakfast Dish. A dish of breakfast.
Anyway, which food would be an AI robot?
Oh, goodness. Well, sentient. Okay, well, I'm going to represent the Japanese folk out there and the Japanese traditional morning dish with some fish and some miso soup, whatnot. So I would make the tofu inside my miso soup sentient. So they could be taking a nice bath in the morning. I'll be like, yo, hey, let's chill. And I can talk to them. It'd be pretty fun.
And then you're kind of the murder robot in that one, because then you get to eat the sentient tofu.
Totally.
Got it. That's too bad. Well, hey, this has been Griffin Cork with The Breakfast Dish saying nobody make a Terminator. And also, it looks like maybe Wallace was actually the inventor. All the pages I saw, it said Wallace's invention.
$20.
$20, baby.
And I refused to accept that, and I opened up another Google tab and wrote who was the real inventor in Wallace and Gromit. That didn't give any results, but there is a weird video about Wallace and Gromit talking about electric cars. Go Google it right now as the outro music kicks in.
Bop, 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 bop. This has been The Breakfast Dish.